welcome to my lovely chat show. Waving back at you, Simone. Business talk with fun, because fun is what you will definitely get here in this chat show, where we have a bit of fun after being educated by my guests. I've got my pen ready because I know chatting to Simone from Invest Growth Finance, I've got a lot to learn from her. So I won't take up your time, Simone. Please introduce yourself, who you are, where are you from, and what do you do?
Thank you so much. My name is Simone Summers. I work for Investgrow Financial Services. We are based in St. Coldfield in the West Midlands, and also we have an office in Mayfair in London. As you can tell from my very Dudley accent, I am not local. I'm originally Danish, so the accent is highly deceptive. And been working in the UK on and off for the past, I want to say almost 3 years now, actually. COVID
Wow.
was a huge opportunity for me because everyone's virtual, so it didn't really matter where you were. We are commercial finance brokers, and people are always so confused by what that means. So I like to explain it as we are matchmakers within finance. So if you as a person need business financing or property financing, we go between you and the banks to find the best option for you. Because often you go to your bank and you say, listen, I need a business loan. And then they might say, that's fine, but we don't do business loans. Now, what do? You come to us because we can help you and actually explain what you're walking into. I often feel like a loan in a mortgage is a bit like a relationship. You'd like to know what you're walking into. So that's where we can help break it down and explain and find the best option for you. So that's
Yeah, I was
why
going
we're
to say,
matchmakers.
sorry, Simone, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say the in regards to mortgage and commercial finance, it's so different. I've heard a lot of terms under the category of commercial finance, such as bridging, auction finance, refinance, and exit. So if you can break it down into bite size, so we can have a little bit more understanding, starting with bridging. What is bridging?
Yes, great question. So, as the name kind of tells you, it's to bridge from where you are now to where you want to be eventually. So, bridging finance is a short-term finance. On a regular, it's usually something you use between 6 to 18 months. It can be, for instance, like you mentioned, auction. It can be if you're trying to buy something on auction and you need the funds quickly. So, bridge is a bit more expensive, but you get the funds very much faster than if it's a buy-to-let mortgage or residential mortgage or commercial or whatever else there might be. So it gets you the funds faster. It means you can act fastly. We usually see it when you're trying to do auctions, when you're doing refurbishments and developments, because obviously you can't buy a property on a buy-to-let mortgage and then refurbish it and do a bunch of stuff to it because it's been valued by the buy-to-let lenders saying this is the state it's in and this is the value. And if you start altering it, all of a sudden you're changing the parameters of your loan.
Mm.
So that's why you would then buy it on a bridge with a bridging facility, and then get development finance as well, which is really exciting. We can actually raise 100% development finance for you or refurbishment finance, meaning this can actually be a very lucrative thing to do. So yes, while it might be a bit more expensive in the short run, it gives you more flexibility and more options and might be more lucrative in the other end for you. So you get the bridging term facility for 3 to 18 months normally, depending on the situation. You either get other financing, which is known as an exit or refinance. So if you're looking to buy the property, do it up, and then sell it off like a flip,
Mm.
then your exit is what's known as a sale. So you sell it off as the exit. However, if you want to hold on to it and let it out, then your exit would be what's known as a refinance. So that means you take it from a bridging loan to a buy-to-let mortgage or a commercial mortgage or a residential mortgage. We also see bridges being great if you're trying to break the chain. You know, when you're buying your home, there's like that whole chain of all the properties that need to be sold at a specific time to then make it work. Sometimes you find a house and you just desperately want it. You can actually use a bridge to then break the chain, get the house, and then sell off your other house afterwards. So those are the most usual places you'll find a bridge. Every now and again, we can do what's known as a second charge bridge. So if you need money to, for instance, buy a business, and you need the money quickly because things are moving fast. A business loan can take a long time to get, especially if we're looking at higher numbers. Then a lot of people choose to do a second charge on their home or buy to let or something like that. And that's where it can come in quite handy as well. If you know that, okay, I need the money now, I'll have it back in about a year or so. It's worth it for me to then spend the money it will cost for the second charge bridge, because then I'll get the money back in once I bought the business and the profit is coming.
That is interesting, to be honest. I mean, you have actually demonstrated there is a link with bridging and refinancing and exit, which I
Absolutely.
was not aware of. Okay. So auction finance, how does that work and who is it most suited for?
Yes, I think auction finance is one of the really interesting ones because things move quickly. When you sign up to an auction, you need to come speak to us first and foremost, because you need to have a quote at hand to show to the auction company. You need to show that you will have the funds available. You usually also sign that you have 10% of the deposit ready to be paid today. That's non-refundable, which is why it's so crucial that you speak to us before you go to auction, so that we can help you find the offers and opportunities. A lot of people think you can just raise 100% of the money for the auction, and that's not really how it works. We have lenders that will go all the way up to 85%, which I think is really impressive. Right? But so come speak to us, then you go to the auction. Once the auction, actually, sometimes people put in an offer pre-auction. So if they think the property might go for, let's say, 400,000 and they're willing to say pay 420, they can put in a pre-auction offer and say, listen, this is a guaranteed money. At the auction, you never know what's going to happen. They might go for it, they might not go for it. You never really know. Sometimes it works out, and sometimes you just have to wait until it's an auction. And then it goes onto auction, and the conditions here are different than any other. And that's why we need bridging with the auction version of bridging, because you need to close within either 28 days, meaning 4 weeks, or 6 weeks. It will say in the package you get before the auction. Normally, a buy-to-let mortgage can easily take 3 months. Commercial, we're almost up to 4 months. So that's why you need a bridge for the auction, because it's the only way you can free up the funds quick enough. So that's where you also need to factor in the, yes, I'll get the property most likely cheaper because it's an auction, but I have a bit of extra cost for the bridging and then the refinance after, unless you sell it. So it's all about figuring out, okay, can it be done in this amount of time? So you'll need someone like us, a broker. I wouldn't try and attempt doing an auction and going to the lenders myself. I would always go to the broker, because you need them to have the contacts with the lender to keep pushing them and making sure it's done in time.
Yeah.
Secondly, you need to make sure you have your solicitors ready and instructed, and that they're also on the panel with the lending company. A lot of them will need a solicitor that's a 3 managing director company or more, meaning they're a certain amount of partners, meaning they know they can handle the volume that comes with auction finance. And then ideal scenario, in my opinion, is always that you show up for valuations in person. You have the prospect, the breakdown of what you're looking to do ready, and you explain it to them, or you maybe even have your own surveyors to come in and do the valuations with you. That's always a crucial part. Valuations is where I see it break down time and time again. So I cannot stress enough how important it is to have a good surveyor that you can use, or be there on the valuation day and make sure things go smoothly.
And are you able to recommend as well any surveyors?
Absolutely. We've got a huge catalog of surveyors and solicitors and accountants and everything that we can help connect you with. Because obviously it's in everyone's interest to make sure things happen smoothly and on the timelines that we need it to be. So we're always happy to make introductions to help and support.
I'm very, very impressed. And, it goes to show how much you do in the background. It's not so much, yeah, I'll go in the auction. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I can get that property. But there's so much that, you know, customers has to be aware of, especially behind the scene of finance, like bridging, and then you got the auction finance, and it there's so much that's involved. And you're right in saying, you're best off going through a broker like yourself rather than directly to a lender, because if anything happens with that lender, who can you fall on at the last minute?
Exactly. I mean, we all know what it's like trying to call your bank and get through to a human instead of like a robot voice and actually explaining what the situation is. And more
Mm,
importantly, getting through to the right person who can help you do what needs to be done. It's so difficult. This is where it really comes in great for us because we're directly authorized by the FCA. A lot of brokers are tied into what's known as a mortgage network, where the mortgage network will have the relationship with the lenders, but because we're directly authorized, we have the relationships with the lenders. So I'm on the phone daily to every single lender, more or less, meaning when I call them, we have that personal relationship as well. Meaning I call, and if they can't pick up, I know they'll call back right away. I know who they are, I know how they work, I know what's going on in the background in their private lives as well, because it's all part of building that relationship. I mean, you and I know each other from networking, so we know how important building those relationships are.
mm.
And it's just as important with the clients as it is with the lender, because if something happens, I need to know who
Yeah.
I'm calling. I need to know how to salvage everything and how to make sure that I get picked up on when I
Absolutely. It's all about building relationships. And if I can also add, for those who are not familiar with what I do, I provide insurance like residential landlord insurance, and we can also provide insurance for those who are going to buy property in the auction. I have clients who prepares me, just like what you said, prepare yourself and just give us a little bit of a heads up in regards to, I'm looking at that property. This is the address if you do know the address, and also I'm bidding up to a certain amount. So while you're in the auction, Crownsway would actually do a bit of a background in regards to looking at the property, flood subsidence, and if all goes well, and obviously you've got your finance sorted through Simone, then that's when we can actually provide the cover for you. And it goes to show that, we do work hand in hand, and we can work hand in hand. Simone will be preparing everything for you, as well as we will be preparing for everything in regards to insurance. And I am very much cautious about the time, so I am going to quickly go on to the fun part.
Oh no.
Okay, I thought it'd be nice.
Thank
Okay,
you. Thank you.
right. So I will be giving you some speedy questions which requires speedy answers.
Okay.
Okay, it might
Yeah.
be three, it might be more. Yeah. Okay, so I'm very familiar with who you are currently seeing right now. I
Yes.
want to know what's been the worst dish that he's cooked for you.
Uh-huh. Yes. Well, fun story. We've been together coming up on a year soon. Um, be that we do have a long distance relationship at the moment, so there is limited opportunities for us to cook. In that time, he has cooked for me twice.
Twice.
Twice. And I'm not even sure I would properly classify it as cooking, because one of the times he made pancakes for me for my birthday for breakfast, which was amazing. The other time he reheated like one of those like Chinese dishes you get at Tesco. So popping it in the air fryer and like serving up the spring rolls. I guess that's gonna be it then, because like it does. I don't even think it qualifies as cooking, but it's the only two options I have.
It's okay. I shall have words with him. And I have to say, pancake for breakfast on your birthday is amazing.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, talking about food, what is the worst thing that you've cooked for yourself or for anyone else?
Oh, see, I love to cook. I do cook quite a lot. And it ever since TikTok came about. I can't explain it, but once a month I'll have to cook something that I found on TikTok. Most of it is really delicious and really good, but some of it, no, it isn't. What's the worst one? It would probably be good question. I think it must be one of the TikTok ones. It was like it was one of those dips where it's aubergine and a bunch of other things, and it looked so yum when the lady like cooked it and ate it on the TikTok, but it just, no, it wasn't good. Yeah,
I'm
it was.
I'm laughing when it comes to TikTok because, as what Simone mentioned, we know through a platform of network that we both are part of. And every time when I see Simone, it's all about TikTok, TikTok. Have you not joined TikTok yet? TikTok. And when it comes to TikTok, I am just like, I'm sorry, what? But it does have its added value. Now, one last question is, if I came for dinner, what would you make?
Ooh, very good one. So you don't eat beef.
No, well
So
remembered.
exactly. If not, I would have made you lasagna with homemade garlic cheesy bread. But since you don't eat beef, I would probably make an Italian inspired pasta dish, where it's like a potato feta bake, but then with extra vegetable added. Depending on the situation, I might do some crispy chicken on the side that we can like add in. And then I probably roast some asparagus on the side.
My favorite veg. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am so hungry. If I could literally fit through that camera, I would. Only for the dish here, obviously, to see you as well. But that is
Yeah, minor
amazing.
detail.
I'm so glad this is recorded because when I do see you next time, I am expecting that to be cooked for me.
Oh, yes, I will.
Brilliant. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you, Simone, for your time and the education that you have, not only giving it to me, but for those who are watching this business talk with Fun Chat Show. Now, for those who are watching and you would like to make direct contact with Simone, you can find all her contact details in the description. You will find her direct contact number, email address, and the link to her business. If you just want to ask a few questions, a little bit more understanding about commercial finance, please reach out to her. She is so open and ready to have a discussion with you. Simone, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's been so much fun.
Thank you.